Hello, everyone. Today we are introducing the bestseller, The Courage to be Disliked, which has sold 5 million copies. The book is co-authored by Ichiro Kishimi, a leading expert on Adlerian psychology, and writer Fumitake Koga. It is presented in a dialogue format between a philosopher and a young man, providing a clear explanation of Adler's ideas. This book is recommended for beginners in Adlerian psychology, people struggling with interpersonal relationships, and anyone who wishes to achieve greater freedom in their lives. Here are the 5 key points that I found particularly important while reading this book. Key point 1, from cause to purpose. In Adlerian psychology, all outcomes are considered in terms of purpose rather than cause. The causality perspective, which states every result has a cause, leads to determinism where the past dictates the future and cannot be changed. For example, a person who is reclusive might be seen as staying inside due to anxiety from a causality perspective. However, from a teleological perspective, the purpose of not wanting to go outside creates the emotion of anxiety. Adler denies trauma, stating that past experiences are selected to fit current purposes. While past experiences cannot be changed, current purposes can be. Therefore, the results of our lives can be altered based on our chosen purposes. Adlerian psychology calls personality and temperament lifestyles, which are self-chosen around the age of 10. These lifestyles can be re-chosen. People fail to change not due to past or environment, but because it is easier to stay the same, and change is frightening. Adler teaches that regardless of what has happened in your life so far, it has no bearing on your future. Have the courage to be happy and re-choose your lifestyle. Key point 2, pursuit of superiority and life's 3 tasks. Pursuit of superiority. Adlerian psychology posits that all human problems stem from interpersonal relationships. Without others, there would be no problems. The universal human desire for the pursuit of superiority drives us to strive for improvement from a state of inherent helplessness to an ideal. Scientific progress is an example of this pursuit. However, this pursuit also breeds inferiority feelings. Feeling inferior because one cannot reach their ideal can promote growth, but using inferiority as an excuse, inferiority complex, hinders progress. Competing by comparing oneself to others worsens interpersonal relationships. Viewing others as enemies due to competition creates a frightening world, leading to power struggles with no resolution. Stopping comparisons and comparing oneself to one's own ideals transforms others into comrades, reducing worries and creating a safer world. Adlerian psychology sets behavioral and psychological goals, independence, and living harmoniously with society. The psychological goals are awareness of one's capabilities and awareness that others are comrades. To achieve these, one must tackle 3 life tasks: work, friendship, and love. The task of work is relatively easy, the task of friendship is harder, and the task of love, romantic and familial relationships, is the hardest. Using past experiences or environment as excuses to avoid these tasks is called the lie of life. Adlerian psychology teaches the courage to face these tasks. Key point 3, the start of interpersonal relationships, separation of tasks. To solve interpersonal troubles and live freely, Adlerian psychology advocates for the denial of approval seeking. One does not need to seek approval from others and should stop doing so. Trying to meet others' expectations leads to a constrained life, but having the courage to be disliked allows for a free life. To avoid isolation while not being bound by others' expectations, one must separate tasks. Separation of tasks means distinguishing between others' tasks and one's own, avoiding mutual interference. There are 2 aspects: not intervening in others' tasks. For example, if a child does not study, forcing them to study is ineffective. Parents should encourage the child, but studying is the child's task. Not allowing others to intervene in one's tasks. For instance, if an unreasonable boss makes work difficult, saying "I can't work because of my boss" is a life lie. The boss's behavior is their task. One's own task is to deliver results at work. A task belongs to the person who accepts the consequences of the choice. Interpersonal troubles arise from intervening in others' tasks or allowing others to intervene in one's tasks. Adlerian psychology teaches that while one cannot change others, changing oneself may influence others to change. This is the start of interpersonal relationships, and by clearly separating tasks, one can improve relationships and achieve a freer way of living. Key point 4, goal of interpersonal relationships, feeling of community. The goal of interpersonal relationships in Adlerian psychology is community feeling. This encompasses a broad sense, including family, school, workplace, community, nation, humanity, and even past and future, as well as animals and inanimate objects. Initially, focus on oneself and others, I and you. Community feeling means seeing others as comrades and feeling a sense of belonging. Without task separation, one lives a self-centered life, worrying about others' opinions. Shifting to community feeling involves considering, what can I give to others? Rather than seeing oneself as the center of the world, facing life's tasks fosters a sense of being part of a community and belonging. Adlerian psychology denies hierarchical relationships, advocating for horizontal relationships where people are not the same but equal. Praising or scolding creates vertical relationships and breeds inferiority feelings and task interference. Instead, encourage others, helping them solve problems on their own. From horizontal relationships arise gratitude, respect, and joy. Hearing words of gratitude reinforces one's contribution to the community, instilling a sense of value and courage. Even those who cannot contribute to the community have value. Simply living means contributing to someone, allowing one to realize their own value. Key point 5, meaning of life. Adlerian psychology posits that gaining community feeling is key to happiness. It is challenging to stop self-centered concern and think about what one can give to others. 3 key points are necessary. Self-acceptance, accepting one's inability and striving to improve. Unlike self-affirmation, it involves recognizing oneself as is, distinguishing between what can and cannot be changed, and courageously changing what can be changed. Trusting others. Trusting others unconditionally is essential, differing from conditional trust. Whether one is betrayed is the other's task. Unconditionally trusting builds deep relationships and a sense of belonging. This trust stems from self-acceptance. Contribution to others. Contributing to others, such as through work or household tasks, fosters community feeling. This also leads to self-acceptance. Regarding happiness, it is important to have a sense of contribution, even if it is not visibly evident. Gaining a sense of contribution through approval seeking lacks freedom. Approval from others is unnecessary. With community feeling, one is not bound by approval seeking and realizes their value through contributing to others. One can only live in the here and now, and dwelling on the past or future is the greatest lie of life. Life in a world fraught with war or disasters may seem meaningless, but living with the guiding star of contributing to others reveals the meaning of one's own life. Conclusion. As the conclusion of The Courage to be Disliked, Adlerian psychology shows us the path to living a freer and more fulfilling life. At its core, it emphasizes the importance of having the courage to be disliked. It is essential to find value in oneself and choose one's way of life without seeking approval from others. The lesson to be learned from this book is the concrete methods to resolve interpersonal issues and improve one's life. By acting according to current purposes without being bound by past experiences or environment, we can move closer to self-realization. The teachings of Adlerian psychology revolve around 3 main pillars: self-acceptance, trusting others, and contribution to others. Practicing these can cultivate a sense of community and achieve a sense of happiness. By accepting oneself as is, unconditionally trusting others, and contributing to others, we can build equal relationships with others and lead a richer life. In conclusion, The Courage to be Disliked is a book that gives us the courage to attain true freedom and happiness. Incorporating Adler's teachings into our daily lives will help us resolve interpersonal issues in every aspect of life and gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. Why not take this book in hand and practice its teachings? I would be happy if our book introduction has been a learning experience for you. Look forward to our next book introduction. See you again soon.